Coach, go ahead with the opening statement.
Yeah, it's been a great year. You look at what this group was able to accomplish. You look at guys like Matt and Drew. We were preseason 4th or 5th in the conference. Lost a couple of really key players in the draft last year. Lost a couple of really good returning players to injury, and lost our Sunday starter to an injury. Had two new starters on the weekends, and we started 5 freshmen and sophomores every day. And these guys just went out and they worked their butt off, and they invested and they bought into a new coaching staff and a different system. They worked really hard. They believed when there wasn't a lot of reason to necessarily from a preseason expectation standpoint, new guys not knowing them, and they went out and achieved so many wonderful things. They did so many great things. We're just very thankful. I know our coaching staff is. I know you personally, my family and I are, and we'll never be able to repay the debt that we owe to guys like Maddie. I'll spend the rest of my life and never be able to repay that debt, and certainly our program never will. We'll never forget the guys that we're moving on. So just very appreciative and very thankful and just very proud overall.
We have to open for the players only so we can get them out of here. Open for the players.
Jim.
Matt,
Go ahead.
Your last game, obviously, a tough way to go out, but obviously if you don't win that championship, it's going to end with a loss. But a great career. Talk about how this season's going for you.
It's gone well, I think, as a whole. Obviously working with the new guys. It was tough at the beginning, but made adjustments, and just very proud of myself and the whole team. So.
Oh, awesome.
Matt, you guys got down early, but you kept coming back, kept scoring runs, keeping yourself in the game. What is it about this group that allowed them throughout the weekend to be resilient like that?
I think it just comes down to character, never saying die, and just fighting tooth and nail to the very last pitch, every single pitch of the game. So.
After the final out, the 2 teams had to be separated. Was something said between you?
I just think it was the heat of the moment. Questionable call, and attention was high, and just emotions boiled over a little bit, and yeah.
Go ahead.
Zach.
Yes, Matt, Coach talked about the buy-in, seeing you guys specifically. I know you've had a really good year, but just what do you think it is about Coach's approach and his staff's approach that allowed you, maybe at least in the eyes of the conference, to overachieve this season, and maybe kind of how does that get carried forward?
Just the character of our staff, Coach Mercer especially. It's just easy to trust what they're saying, and everybody on the team was willing to work with him and buy in, and you saw that how far it carried us, and we were just that close today too. So just just the character of the coaching staff. Just unbelievable, and just so easy to trust what they're talking about.
Awesome.
Drew, it's obviously a long way away. This season just ended, but going forward, heading into next season, what can you guys take away from this experience in Louisville this weekend?
Well, I think you saw with the whole season, we just got better and better as the season went. We didn't start off super great, and then as the season went on, we just got stronger, went back to work every single day. So I'm pretty confident in saying that'll continue next year. We'll just continue to build off what we started this year.
Andy.
I'm just wondering, you guys got down to Louisville 6-0 in the regular season game, and you took it to extra innings. Was that mentioned today in the dugout? Were you guys talking about that, like, hey, we know we can come back on these guys?
I just think that that's something that's always a possibility for us. You saw it against Illinois State too. We were down. What was the score? We were down, but like we're never out of the ball game. Like that's the whole mindset. So.
Drew, you played second base almost the entire season. Of course, the injury caused a change, but you hit the ball really well here in Louisville. Did that play into any type of rejuvenation for you, refocus, changing positions?
Not really. I just try to compete everywhere I can. I pride myself in being able to play all over the field, and so that way we have the most flexibility to get the right guys in there, and coach can make the lineup the best he can to give us the best chance to win a ball game.
Anything else from the players?
Thanks, guys.
Okay, guys. Back open for Coach Mercer.
I guess, just forgive the obvious, but just how did you see kind of that last sequence, and particularly that last pitch, and kind of how that all unfolded?
I don't know what was said between their pitcher and the umpire, and it's not my place to speak on what was said, what caused the immediate ejection, and that umpire will have to answer to that. But the reality, and you can look at the video, like I'm a subdued guy. I'm pretty level-headed. Our first base, both of our base coaches are very level-headed, subdued guys. I mean, the pitch just bounced. So you can look at the video. I'm not saying something that's untrue or controversial, and it bounced. So when you have a game like this with obviously so much on the line, so much at stake, and you make a call like that to end guys' careers, some of these guys in their baseball career period, and some of these guys in their college careers move on to the next level. It's going to be heated. There's going to be people that are upset, and they have a job to do. I have a job to do. They get paid to do their job. I get paid to do my job, and you have to be able to execute. And everyone's held to that same standard. So it's going to be an emotional response when those kind of things happen.
Aaron?
Can you talk about moving forward? I mean, you've really built this program. You've had a ton of fans here today. It was a great atmosphere. Can you talk about what it's going to take to sustain this, and maybe you can take the next step to become the Louisville of the Big Ten?
Well, we're very fortunate to be at a place like Indiana where you have such a large fan base in general. And I didn't personally do that. But it is nice when you have so much support, across not only the state, but really the country. And for us, we have to go back to work. We have to get better in all phases of the game. The game was decided on the details of the game. Our inability early to hit with runners in scoring position, some of our not necessarily defensive miscues. They weren't necessarily errors, but we threw the advancing base again today. Allowed the backside guy to move up. We had the runner on second base. The runner stealing third. We took too long to get rid of the ball at second base to first base, and they advanced to home plate. You have the details of the program, and you have to be able to not only build the fundamental of it, but the details inside the game, the intricacies of the game. We have to become more physical. We have to be more physical. We have to be bigger and stronger, faster. We have to have more electric stuff on the mound. We have to have more dominant stuff on the mound. We have to be able to go toe to toe. For athlete. And so if you look at the bigger, faster, stronger team normally wins. And that's just the way of the world. That's the way of sports. If it's in basketball, if it's in football, if it's in baseball. So we have to get more athletic. We have to be the fundamentals of the game that we've done, I think, a good job of building that base of it, have to be built upon and understood and applied. But the reality of it is we just have to get better physically in all areas of the game to allow ourselves to then focus more on the details and the fundamentals of it.
Coach, the starting pitching has been a strength for you guys throughout the season with Milto and Gordon and Salt Frank, but this weekend those guys all kind of struggled a little bit. Do you think there was anything in particular that kind of held them back from performing their best?
I think at the beginning of the weekend, I would say more just the emotions of the moment. We didn't handle the emotions of the moment very well. Something that we did a better job of today, but again, it kind of held us back in the end because we didn't execute early in the game, right? If you look at it statistically, every pitch has equal value, the first pitch and the last pitch. There's no different value in those pitches. So we had to handle the moment better. You look at those guys, they've worked really hard, they have good stuff. As scouting reports get out, the video gets out. We have to continue to diversify the pitches, and you have to execute those things. And obviously, understand it's easier to build an offense over the course of the season than it is to build a pitching staff over the course of the season, because you only have so many bullets. So you run out of bullets, and the stuff's not quite as good. You don't execute quite as well, or everyone gets to watch videos and have scouting reports and put together game plans to attack that game plan. offensively you can coach and you can get better, and you watched us get better through the course of the year offensively. So I think there's a combination of those things. We have to be able to sustain the stuff and execute those pitches. And then it is normal. It is normal when, you know, our starting pitching, I don't want to be disrespectful, it's good. We had good starting pitching. We have an All-American. They have really good stuff. But if it's not, the baseball is changing. It's evolving. So if it's not 94 to 96, if it's not 94 97 with a wipeout, then it's going to be hard to sustain over 3-4 months of time. And so at that point, you have to rely on the growth of your bullpen, which is what we transitioned more into this year, was the growth of Gabe Bierman, Alex Franklin, Braden Scott. As those guys transitioned more and we were able to utilize them more to give guys different looks throughout the course of the game. And that was, as you could see, that was kind of our game plans as we went through those games. But our starting pitching did a great job. Our pitching coach is an absolute star. He's one of the best in the industry, and did a really good job of handling that staff, and they gave us so many good starts. It's asking a lot for those guys to do it over and over with so much information out there to be had.
You're not going to be able to overturn balls and strikes. Do you have any recourse as a coach about the umpire?
Oh yeah, I'll handle that. I'll talk to the tournament. I'll talk to the site directors. I'll talk to the umpires. I'll talk to. It'll be handled. It'll be handled in a professional way. Just like if I had done something unbecoming or unprofessional, they have repercussions and courses to hold me accountable, and we have the same courses and same things in place. And thankfully, and everybody wants the game to work smoothly, and everybody wants to get the calls right. The site administrators, the umpires association, everybody wants to do the best job that they can do, and that's why there's checks and balances for me, for our players, and for the umpires as well.
Last one,
question.
Andy.
On the same line,
Yeah.
to get an explanation on the balk call, because once again, we didn't see much on the replay there.
He didn't give an explanation. I would assume it was he didn't come set at the bottom. He bounced to the bottom of it. It happened so quickly, and my head was turned towards the. Actually, I was looking at the outfield to make sure they were positioned, and it happened. And I don't really have a leg to stand up. I didn't see it. I would assume he just bounced at the bottom and didn't come to a complete stop. It is a call that you would like to see a little more parity across the board called. Either that's going to be a balk or it's not going to be a balk. Because when you go to run bases, try to steal bases, that's the one that's utilized against us a lot. When I was at Wright State, we were always top 2 or 3 in the country in stolen bases. So you would see all those things. And when we tried to steal bases this year, you would see guys will do that a lot. They'll be quick off the ground. They won't come set, trying to jump. You know, when we were really cooking offensively, they'll do that. They'll balk and quick pitch, then try to jump a fastball past you. So we just need to come to a conclusion of whether we have to come to a stop or we don't, and then call it across the board. But I didn't, and I'm not saying that he didn't on that play. He very may well have. I didn't see it, but that play in general is one that could use some examination of what is the standard process across the board.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.